For today's offering, we journey further east and even further back in time as we cover what is probably the oldest film I've ever covered on this channel. Released in 1943 by Toho, Sugata Sanshiro marks the directorial debut of Akira Kurosawa, a filmmaker that needs no introduction. The film follows the eponymous hero, played by Susumu Fujita, as he journeys to the city to take up martial arts, crossing paths with Shogoro Yano, played by Denjiro Okochi, who is a master of a new style of grappling called Judo. Now, this film is less a martial arts action film and more of a drama that happens to be about martial arts. Much of the film focuses on Sanshiro's personal development, going from an aggressive punk who picks fights to a more humble, well-rounded adult who tries to embrace his humanity, all while we witness a series of matches against various opponents. Due to the technological limitations, there's not really much that can be said about the choreography. More eagle-eyed viewers may be able to identify specific judo techniques, but the combat more or less takes a backseat to the emotional drama, all while containing Kurosawa's iconic use of movement to reinforce the emotions of the scene, as well as a number of layers of visual symbolism. Some of that symbolism is indicative of the time period, such as the film's main villain, Genosuke Higaki, played by Ryunosuke Tsukigata, wearing Western clothing as a form of visual shorthand to communicate to the then loyal Japanese audience that he's clearly the bad guy. That's not to say that the fights in this film are without merit, they just serve a different purpose to the story as a whole. The most notable sequence would be Sanshiro's match against Hansuke Murai, played by Takashi Shimura. In the lead up to the fight, we see a relationship beginning to form between Sanshiro and Murai's daughter, Sayo, played by Yukiko Todoroki, who had been devoutly praying for his victory at the local temple. This results in Sanshiro feeling conflicted about the match, given that he already had to deal with the angry daughter of a previous opponent attempting to take revenge on him. As such, we see Sanshiro show some restraint early on, as he and Murai engage in what I would call the most aggressive display of slow dancing ever caught on film. As the match escalates, we see Sanshiro throw Murai across the mat multiple times before Murai, sapped of his strength, willingly yields. This match signifies an emotional capstone to Sanshiro's arc, having gone from someone who would throw anyone he could grab, to someone not aware of his own strength and accidentally killing an opponent, to finally being the kind of martial artist that is in control of his own body and regards his opponent with respect. Honestly, this would have been a great place to end the film if not for the fact that it had been building up to a final showdown between Higaki and Sanshiro, a fight that, while having some strong visuals, ultimately ends in an anticlimax. Overall, this is definitely a film worth watching if you want to see the humble beginnings of one of the world's greatest filmmakers. On top of that, it's a good example of a film that demonstrates the philosophical and spiritual aspects of the martial arts, something that tends to be an afterthought in most films. If you consider yourself a cinephile, then make sure to add this film to your viewing list. It is currently available through the Criterion Collection's Eclipse series as part of the bundle The First Films of Akira Kurosawa.